Hello, welcome back to Up to Par MD. I'm your host, Fatteh, MD. Today, I'm talking about an opiate-related story. An official with a Major League Baseball team has been found guilty of basically drug trafficking within the organization with a player. This is the case of Tyler Skaggs, a pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels, I should say, these days. And unfortunately, Tyler passed away on July 1st, 2019. He was found to have multiple opiates as well as alcohol in his system. But medical officials clearly stated that it was the fentanyl in his system, the profoundly potent opiate fentanyl, that without the fentanyl, he would likely have not died. He was also found to have oxycodone, oxymorphone, in addition to the alcohol, but it was the fentanyl that did him in. And as you may or may not know, fentanyl is at the epicenter of overdose crisis in the U.S. today. Fentanyl, street fentanyl in particular, is the driving force behind a record number of opiate-related drug overdoses. Now keep in mind, prescribing of opiates is at an all-time low, or at least a recent decade low, but overdose deaths, especially during the time of COVID, are at record highs. And street fentanyl that has come in largely from other countries, has been to blame. Many other medications acquired on the streets have been laced with fentanyl, and they're simply unable to calibrate the amount of fentanyl that is in these pills. They just put it in their mind that it's value-added service, but it's a killer. And in this case, in a federal court, just within the past day, an Angels official, Eric K., a communications director, was found to have criminally contributed to the death of Tyler Skaggs. Basically, Eric K., it is alleged, was the candy man within the organization. He was providing illicit opiates to various players, and Eric K., I should say Tyler Skaggs, was unfortunately one of his clients. Several other active Major League Baseball players testified in this trial and indicated that he was supplying them with opiates as well, and there could even be suspensions of some players for taking these illicit opiates. The interesting thing to be seen further is that, the organization is part of this lawsuit as well, and it is not clear from what I've seen as to whether that has been adjudicated, because it has been stated very clearly and very loudly, especially by family and the attorney of Tyler Skaggs, that team officials knew about Eric K. and his dealings with players. But this is at least the first step, and unfortunately this could lead to 20 years to life in federal prison for Eric K. for his role in all of this, and he is scheduled to be sentenced a few months from in June. Just to kind of connect some of the dots here, the attorney for Tyler Skaggs' family is Rusty Hardin, and I believe he is the same attorney representing the massage therapists who are suing Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson. So very much a high-profile attorney at that. But this one, it seems fairly clear-cut. Nobody is denying, really anyone denying, that Eric K. was providing these illicit opiates to multiple players, and fentanyl was the death knell. Unfortunately, fentanyl has been a driver of opiate-related deaths for years, even going back into the early 2000s. A lot of the data, while patients were on multiple opiates many times, some prescribed, some not, it was quite often fentanyl or heroin that was the driving force towards, unfortunately, their deaths. And fentanyl has exploded since then in terms of its street availability and its arrival on the streets across federal borders. So belatedly, our prayers go out to the family of Tyler Skaggs, and hopefully this leads to a cleaning up of the clubhouse culture in Major League Baseball. You cannot assume that this is the only such supplier of opiates in Major League Baseball, and probably in professional sports in general. You're talking about high-level athletes who are dealing with significant levels of pain. The opiates start there, allow them to play through the pain, but when you are acquiring them in an illicit manner, it is not controlled and can lead to devastating consequences like this. So we'll see how Eric K. is sentenced upcoming in June. We will see how the club, the Los Angeles Angels organization, is dealt with in all of this. There could be huge ramifications if it becomes clear that other identified club officials were aware of this situation, and this could have shockwaves throughout Major League Baseball and throughout professional sports. That's it for this story. Stay tuned for more, and for any more information regarding pain addiction and chronic illness, be sure to go to uptoparmd.com. Take care.